Merge tactics might feel random a lot of the times, and that is mostly due to the shop, because the shop is the most random part of the entire game, and most of the people don't really know how to use it. And if you don't know how to actually optimize your picks from the shop, you're going to be struggling a lot, you're going to be ending up with 0 elixir, and other people are going to max out before you, and you're going to lose. But if you know how to actually pick correctly from the shop, you're going to start winning a lot more, the game is going to be way more fun for you, and it's actually just not that hard. There generally, in like 90% of the times, there is a kind of rule of priority that people follow in what to pick from the shop in order for them to optimize their chances of winning. And today I want to go over that in order for you to be doing the same and to be able to, I don't know, just like do whatever you want in this game. Or like if you want, you can go for top one. That's basically what I try to do. But anyway, before I go into that, one thing I need to kind of explain first, because I think there's going to be a lot of people watching this that don't really understand how the shop really works, or like actually what we're going to be talking about here. Basically, you can pick, first off, like you get three different troops in the shop. Out of those three troops, you can pick one, and then you get a new set of shop rotation. On the first shop rotation, you a lot of times might not have the troops that you want, so you can pick one in order to get another shop rotation, and you can sell the other troop in order for you to gain back elixir to buy another one from that other set in the shop that you got after. But the problem with that is that once you sold that first unit, you now have one elixir less, because you sell for one elixir less than you bought the unit for. And that is a big problem often, because you're going to be running out of elixir. And once you run out of elixir, that means that one, you can't upgrade your units, and two, you can't cycle the shop. So optimizing your shop basically means getting as much elixir as possible, or having the most elixir possible in order for you to go through as many shop rerolls as possible, so that within those many shop rerolls you're going to be getting exactly what you want. Because if you imagine that, like, to put it in simple words, if you have infinite shop rerolls, there's like a 100% chance for you to get exactly what you need. So that is what I'm going to be talking about. And the way you get infinite elixir within this game is by playing Spirit Empress, and with her ability you're actually able to get infinite elixir. But I already made a video on that, and I'm going to put it here in this corner if I remember when I post this video. But yeah, here, let's go into it. So these tips generally apply to every single ruler you play, but especially Spirit Empress, because she is so vulnerable. I can't. What am I even trying to say? She's very dependent on her ability. Let's say that. Yeah, that word is not coming out of my mouth. But yeah, so the way you start. First things first. Like, if you get a shop rotation, the most important thing you can get is a goblin. When I say goblins, I mean if you have a goblin machine, you pick goblin machine, even though it's a 4 elixir troop. Round 1, you can go for goblin machine easily. That is the first rule, and the reason why I want to go for that is because there's a highest chance for you to actually get a goblin synergy, and once you get goblin synergy, you're getting that extra goblin every round, and once you get extra goblins every round, that means more merges. More merges equals more elixir equals more shop rolls equals better chances of maxing out. Are you following? Hopefully yes. So yeah, Goblin synergy, most important. Second thing, 2 elixir troops. If you don't have goblins, take a 2 elixir troop. That is, like, we're going for the most narrow chances to the highest chances of like what you can actually get. So if there is no goblins, go for a 2 elixir troop. Once you go for a 2 elixir troop, that basically gives you the highest chances of you being able to buy a troop on another set of shop. And if you then get, let's say, another copy of the troop you took first, you can get another merge. If not, you can take the cheapest troop on that second rotation as well, and you're still going to be able to follow through with another shop rotation. So because of that, two elixir troops are really important, because again they're gonna allow it to go through through most shop roles. Then number 3, if you don't have a goblin in the shop and if you don't have a 2 elixir troop in the shop, you go for a troop that is within your strategy. You that is pretty self-explanatory. Like at some point you have to build exactly what you want, right? So if none of those two others are the option, you go for the third option, which is whatever you actually need for your strategy. And once you have that, the fourth option is whatever is the cheapest. So if you don't have goblins, if you don't have a 2 elixir troop, if you have nothing that you want for a strategy, you go for the cheapest troop possible for the same reason as the 2 elixir troop, but now we're like skipping another step because it's not that important. That is just like maximizing your chances of getting another merge, let's say. Um, but then there is some other really important stuff with how you actually want to use the shop if none of those are the options, because what's gonna happen a lot of the times, especially with Embers, if you're not playing right, you're gonna run out of elixir. That is bad news for everyone. And what you want to do in that case, a lot of the times, if you play right, early game, you're not gonna be selling that much. You want to pick those 1-star troops and not sell them until you start getting merges. And once you start getting merges, you're gonna be able to gain some elixir, and at some point you're gonna have enough elixir to just cycle and build whatever you want. But sometimes you're gonna run out of elixir, and in that case, you might want to sell the troops that you have on the board, especially. Let's say the situation is like this. I have my strategy, I have 6 troops down, and all of them are 2-star. And then I have a shop rotation, and one troop in the shop rotation is actually the one that I already have on the board, and the other 2 are randoms. Like one is like a random 2 elixir troop, and one is a random 5 elixir troop. Now I want to sell that troop that I already have on the board at 2 stars and place the 1-star from the shop instead of it. But since I sold a 2-star, now I have more elixir, and when I get another set of shop rotation, once I place the 1-star copy from the shop back on the board, so my strategy is still full. I just have like one star instead of 2-star down. But I get another set of shop rerolls, and I might be able to merge something from the bench. And if that's possible, you basically win. You can start merging and selling and merging and selling again, and you're gonna build up your elixir again, and that is super important. Because that like you never want to be out of elixir. That is basically what I started the video with. If you have infinite elixir, you can do infinite shop rerolls, you can build anything you want. And then there is the one last step of what you can do with the shop, and that is if you're really in like a big advantage over other players, you can actually just take the troops that they have in their strategy, because that blocks them and they can't get those troops if you have them on the bench. And the reason why I say you only want to do that if you have the advantage over other players is because if you already have a weaker strategy, then you need to upgrade first, right? And you can't be wasting space on the bench for opponent's troops if you don't have yours upgraded. It's too risky, and you're going to be forced to sell 1-star troops, which you don't really want. And because of that, in that case, if you're weaker, you just keep cycling and getting your troops down on the board and upgrading them. But if you already have an advantage over the opponent and they are not as upgraded as you are, then you go for in that case, you go for their troops in order for them not to be able to upgrade their strategy, and you basically secure the win. In that case, they're helpless; they can't do anything, so you just guarantee win. But you needed to have like a decent amount of luck with getting those merges at 2 elixir units in order for you to build up that elixir. And that is basically it. So you go for goblins, 2 elixir, whatever you have in the strategy, cheapest possible, and then sometimes sell whatever. If there's no merge, sell something you have on the board in order to start merging again. That is basically it. And it's really simple when you break it down like that. It's really not that complicated, and that is not like some like very simplified breakdown of how I play. That is generally what I do in 90% of my games, and it really is that simple pretty much. There's gonna be games where you're just screwed by RNG. In that case, you can't do anything. But playing like this increases your chances, optimizes your chances in order for you to be able to either win or make a comeback from bad start. Getting no merges till round 4, that's basically the worst that can happen. And in that case, if you play right, you can still make a comeback for at least second, if not first. So yeah, that's how I play. That's pretty much it. If this tutorial helped you, I would appreciate a subscribe. It really means a lot, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.